there.
Who'd like you to get over here?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this Common Council meeting of the City of Dunkirk to order on this 18th day of February 2025 at 5:31 p.m. Clerk, please conduct the roll call.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Here.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Here.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Here. Thank you, Clerk. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Next, we have the certification of prior meetings.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, February 4th was presented to the Mayor on Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the Mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness whereof, I have here set my hand and seal of the City of Dunkirk, New York, this 18th day of February 2025.
Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented? Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, the minutes are approved as presented. We now move to privilege of the floor.
Privilege of the floor. Privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case each individual appearing shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing any group who shall be limited to a maximum time of 5 minutes. The privilege of the floor is reserved for members of the public to speak on any subject pertinent to the affairs of city government. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits. The chair may determine in their discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. The chair shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or not germane. The time limits specified shall be adhered to, except that the chair may allow any person speaking to complete a statement or thought started before such time expires, and a longer time may be allowed by the chair with approval of the majority of the council.
Okay, privilege of the floor is now open. If there are any members of the public who wish to speak, please step forward, state your name and address, and address the council.
Gary Frederickson, 750 Deer Street, Dunkirk. Just a couple comments I wanted to make on something that got brought up at the last council meeting about the low city morale and with the workers. To lay that at the mayor, I think, is unfair. Anytime a new administration comes in, or a new supervisor, new boss in any job, city, government, a manufacturing business, anywhere, anybody that comes in new is going to come in with their own agenda, their own policies and procedures, and workers are going to be expected to follow them. So that's not outrageous to expect that the mayor coming in new is going to come in with her own ideas on how things should be done. And if the workers are only talking among themselves in their work areas, nothing's going to get solved. It's got to be brought out into the open, brought up the chain, which leads me to wonder if the city has a labor management committee of some type, the mayor and a representative maybe from her administration, and somebody from the unions, city unions maybe, which I believe is still Local 912. And you address an issue to your supervisor. If it doesn't get fixed there, you go to your union rep. If he can't fix it, then it would be on the agenda for a labor management meeting, and the two sides work, talk it out, and try to come up with something that works for both sides. We used it at the prison. I was a corrections officer for 33 years. Labor management committees were very valuable. We got a lot accomplished by using them. I don't know if the city has those or not, but to blame the mayor for, I mean, the city's doing pretty good. City workers are doing pretty good. They get 8-hour shifts. They know what time they're going home at the end of the day. They know that they're going home at the end of the day, which up there, sometimes you didn't know for one day or the next if you were going home or not. And they know what their paychecks are going to be. They're doing pretty good compared to a lot of places. If you look at the prison, I'm sure everybody's seen the reports and newspaper articles. And those guys up there are working 36-hour shifts straight through, no breaks. Days off are getting canceled. Vacations are getting canceled. They're now being told that each jail is going to take a 30% staffing cut, so they're going to do more work with 30% fewer staff involved. Those guys, that's a low morale. The city employees, just doesn't seem to me that they're in that bad of shape. But I just think it's unfair to lay all that on the mayor because she came in new with her own ideas and her own policies, procedures. And there's avenues to address those issues if workers have them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frederickson. Anyone else wishing to speak? Going once, twice. Privilege of the floor is now closed. Next, we move to communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor Dovias.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Mr. Frederickson, for those words. First and foremost, change is difficult, and it's hard to implement changes, and there's always going to be people that complain whenever changes are being made. My first goal is to stop the hemorrhage of funds being spent inappropriately in the city, and the only way to do that is by addressing changes and implementing the council's amendments to the proposed budget. So correct, there's going to be some people that are not happy with some of the changes that have to be made, but they have to be done so that the city stops spending money recklessly and starts being more fiscally responsible in the long run. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we'll address communications from the public and petitions.
Request from Tim Dovias on behalf of the First Ward Falcon Club to use Prom and Schenkel Stadium and School 7 softball fields on Saturday, May 10th, 2024 for the Early Bird Fast Pitch Softball Tournament.
Any questions or comments from the council?
No, we're not going to be waiving any of the fees for these, are we?
It's already been paid.
Okay.
Anything further, council? Okay, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions? Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskowiak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Request from Tim Dovias on behalf of the First Ward Falcon Club to use Prom and Schenkel Stadium, School 7, and Cook's softball fields on July 18th through the 20th, 2025 for the 50th anniversary of the annual First Ward Falcons Fast Pitch Softball Tournament.
Any discussion, council? Okay, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskowiak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Notice of claim from Danielle Wolderick of 609 Eagle Street for damages done to her vehicle allegedly due to unattended city salt spreader.
Any discussion, council? Okay, I need a motion to refer this to the Law Department and Department of Public Works.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Prior written notice from Efren Villegas of 140 Lord Street on a tree with dead falling branches in front of his property.
Any discussion, council? Okay, I believe I need a motion to refer this to the Law Department and Department of Public Works.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Loudspeaker permit from Tim Doviez to use PA system for a DJ at Prom and Schenkel Stadium for the 50th anniversary fast pitch softball tournament, July 18th through the 20th, 2025.
Any discussion, council? Okay, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve? Moved by Councilmember Luskoviac, seconded by Councilmember Nichols. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried. We'll now move to reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilmember Luskoviac.
Yeah, I want to let everyone know our city's property maintenance department is going forward with a third year of controlling our seagull population in the city's business district. These efforts in collaboration with the USDA Wildlife Services has curbed an unsanitary, disgusting, and potentially harmful problem we've had in this area and now no longer. This is no cost to the taxpayers, by the way, but through business owners in this business district area. We have a surplus of approximately $2,000 to utilize this year. Also, if last year was any indication, there will be a noticeably less problem this year. In light of the country's current bird flu, which has to do with chickens, I am glad we had taken this path to finally solve this problem. We certainly don't want to be responsible for starting anything. I thought it was that bad. Anyways, Vince, the CFA grant we received to complete a welcoming center and amphitheater on the very far east of Memorial Park, can you walk us through a timeline, including a forum in order citizens can learn more, ask questions, and offer solutions?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question, Councilwoman. So basically, before we get started with expending anything, any type of funds, we will be awaiting a contract from Empire State Development, or it could be Department of State. I'm not exactly sure on that one, but there will be citizen public input forums. We're going to be meeting with veterans. We're going to be meeting with community stakeholders to lay out the plans for this project that will bring some great economic development to the waterfront. And those will be announced and will be forthcoming, but we're at the very beginning stages. We've been awarded this grant and we have plans, but there's a bigger comprehensive plan that we'd like to still pursue to make improvements to Memorial Park, whether it's the drainage there, addressing the seawall and replacing railings and the trail. But as we start to work through those, a plan for public engagement will be happening. We're working with Historical Society right now to get their input and on this entire project. So plans are coming and forthcoming, and there will be public input.
Thank you. This is the type of project that can turn our economic growth around.
I just want to say that last week at our Economic Development Committee meeting, E.J. Hayes presented a very good, thoughtful, it's a very good and thoughtful plan. This isn't a plan that didn't go through a lot of public input beforehand with comprehensive plan, LWRP, planning processes, and the DRI, Strategic Investment Plan. So it's well thought out, and I think that there's been some good public support for it. And And we've also demonstrated that the Joint Veterans Council had no problem with where the location would be.
Thanks, Vince. You and your department work very hard. I know that. Randy and Mayor Kate, there have been approximately 150 lights out in neighborhoods, some for about a year now. The LED Solutions Company had a PowerPoint program stating a 10-year guarantee when they were soliciting business. However, that never made it into the contract, I hear. I think we should sue. And time to move on with other solutions. You have a great idea, Randy, to purchase a bucket truck with the TRIP funds, and we have 2 electricians we can use, and therefore we can fix them ourselves?
Yes, we have 2 bucket trucks, neither of which are certified to work under electrical lines. So we've reached out to National Grid to see if maybe we can buy a used bucket truck that would be certifiable for that. And then we could address these things more rapidly. Right now, we have a purchase order out with Beck Electric, a very reliable local company that's working on these, and they had a good start in the first ward until we had a couple blizzards come in. We'll check tomorrow and see where we are on that, get them back up there and get all the lights fixed. And then in terms of the other company, we can talk about that with the mayor and city attorney sometime. But I think the priority would be to figure out where the go-ahead plan to get these fixed more rapidly.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. That is all.
Thank you. Councilmember Sikorsky.
I just want to say thank you to the 912 DPW guys for their continued efforts with this weather. And their minimum resources and their crappy equipment, they're getting the job done, whether people think it's good enough or not. We appreciate your efforts. I'm done.
Fine. I have 2 questions for you, Mayor. Do we have a code blue with the weather it is for the homeless that are walking the streets?
The county normally sets that up for us. We don't have one specifically here, no.
Okay, is it advertised? Wait, Chris wants to say something.
I was going to say the rural ministry is
Yeah, they do it through the Econo Lodge and the Dunkirk Hotel.
Okay.
We issue the vouchers for DSS.
A few people were asking, and I said, I personally don't know that information, and that's why I said I'll bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah, they can come to our station after hours, but during the day they go to DSS. The problem is a lot of the people they see out there have found themselves on the list that they're not allowed to stay there anymore. And a lot of them choose not to take advantage of the code blue as well.
We just don't need to find them frozen someplace enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't force them.
I know. You know, you can only advise them, and I mean, I don't know how they would get transportation there. Is there a way to get transportation for them to get there?
I believe DSS gives them vouchers for that, and I think the Sheriff's Department does something like that too. But like I said, a lot of them actually don't even want to do it.
Thank you. And Mayor, the second question is for you. I don't know who it would be up to, but I know a lot of our flags that we fly for the Memorial Day for the summer-long length of time are really in pretty bad shape, and I don't know if council can do it, if you can do it, to ask any of the social clubs if they could possibly get us a few flags. I know.
No, I was kind of chuckling because the city is actually making a donation to I believe it's the Legion or for like the flags that we have for Memorial Day. So unless we reprogram that money, we really don't have anything. I can certainly send out a request letter or ask Scott if he can send out a request letter asking for donations towards flags, but we already contribute towards flags.
I don't know, maybe Randy could check with Jason to see how many are really in the bad shape, because we really, out of disrespect, not to fly a tattered flag.
Sure. I'll check with Jason. We'll do an inventory. I'd like to say that the American flag is a respected symbol, even when it is tattered. It's legally flown that way. We don't like that. But you remember that Star Spangled Banners is written after the flag was still there. So the flags, you know, will either still be there or they'll be replaced. It's still an honorable thing, and the Parks Division does an excellent job taking care of them. We'll do an inventory, make sure they're all in best shape possible. I think it would be nice eventually to have flags all the way down Central Avenue from Miller Fillmore Drive all the way above the hero banners, and just make it look like other places like Casadega does that on Maple Avenue, and it just looks really wonderful to have that and make the flags look as great as possible. So I think working with the city with funds, minimal funds we have, but also working with the veterans organizations and on clubs and stuff like that, I think we all agree that the American flag is a very proud symbol of our nation.
Well, I know that the Joint Veterans looks for flags too, as for their presentation on Memorial Day. So it's just, where do we come up with it? It's just a question, Mayor.
It's valid, everybody's facing an 84% tax increase, so there is no extra money in the budget, so we'll do what we can to ask for the donations.
Sometimes the clubs might feel in an honor that they can contribute something such as that for it. And just a reminder to everyone that our curbside calendars have gone out to every resident, every household, both in English and in Spanish. Our clerk's office will have copies if you have not received it. It has all the information you could possibly think of on this so that you're in compliance with putting things out at the curb, what our brush collection is, and bulk collection. If you don't have one, if you have any questions at all regarding it, please call 716-366-9832. That's our DPW department, and staff in there can answer your questions. I don't want to say anything about hey dude here. I've got two questions, and I don't know if it's going to go to Wanda. First is, what about that motel out there by the Moose? What's going to be happening with that? I know it went to court a few months ago.
That is still in court.
Still in court? Okay. All right. There was an article in the paper today regarding the judge tossed the city zombie property lawsuits. Can you shed some light on that? Because in one article, one paragraph in here, it says now it's on to the city's problem.
I can address that. Specifically, those were being handled by an outside law firm. They felt... Oh, I'm sorry. Those lawsuits were being handled by an outside law firm.
I saw that.
Those properties have been sold to other owners in the past couple of years. That law firm did not believe that the case had that many merits and we had been facing it. So the judge didn't really toss it. It was a mutual understanding that it would not be continued.
So this is not going to be falling on the city's hands that were responsible for any of this?
Well, there are new owners for the properties, and my hope would be that those new owners take care of those properties. That being said, I know one is already for sale. Another one did transfer. So it could, like any property.
Right, right. And I know I talked to Wanda earlier today to give the definition of what zombie properties are. Can you explain that, Wanda?
Zombie properties are when the property owner has left and walked away from the house, but the bank can't take it over just yet. So it's that period in between where they have to assign a servicer to take care of it.
And how many of the other houses, I know you said that there were 8 right now, 8 zombie houses in Dunkirk. There are other houses that are deemed for demolition.
So I have 93 vacant properties that may not all be deemed for demolition.
So, and there are some that are slated to come down, but we just don't have the funds in the city to do that, correct?
That is correct.
So then I'm going to throw it into Vince and see if Vince can come up with some kind of a grant.
There are no grants for residential demolition,
Okay,
other than community development block grant.
okay. I was just checking to see, because I mean, they seem to be multiplying more than that. That's it, I'm done. Oh, no, one more thing. Randy, I noticed our sidewalks are not being plowed right now. Can you just give an update on that and the reasoning?
We started plowing yesterday on the sidewalks, and unfortunately, the blade on the front of the sidewalk plow is broken. Welder's fixing that as we speak, so we'll get that back out there. We agree. It was one of the reasons as a precaution, the school's closed today.
Well, it's been very heavy snow too, and when it rains and snows, it freezes, and it's very hard for the little sidewalk plow to push the clunkers, as you say. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. During our last Finance Committee meeting, I requested that a survey be distributed to all stakeholders and potential users of the new citywide software system. I anticipate we'll have the results ahead of our next meeting on Tuesday, February 25th, at 9 a.m. in the Mayor's Conference Room. Looking forward to reviewing the feedback and moving closer to selecting the best platform to improve efficiency and generate some cost savings for the city. Moving on, it appears there's no unfinished business, so we will now address the pre-filed resolutions. Clerk, please introduce resolution number 13-2025.
Resolution 13-2025, standard work day and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials.
Any discussion, council? Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll for the vote on resolution number 13-2025.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Weiser.
Aye, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 14-2025, resolution authorizing renewal agreement with New York State Unified Court System. It's a city court security service, April 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2025.
Any discussion, council? Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Weiser.
Aye, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 15-2025, resolution authorizing professional services contract for July 4th firework display.
Any discussion, council?
Yes, this is just basically the same as we've had the past few years, correct, Randy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything further? Okay, seeing nothing, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Weiser.
Aye, the resolution is adopted. We now move to new business. Is there any new business to be discussed this evening? Okay, I do understand there is a need for an executive session tonight, so I need a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing matters of personnel.
I make a motion.
Moved by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Luskowiak. Before we vote, I'd just like the public to know we won't be taking any public action after we conclude the executive session, so there's no need to stay unless you'd like to. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Leskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Weiser.
Aye. Motion carries. We now enter into executive session. For the record, the time is 5:58 p.m. I believe we need the personnel director, assessor, council in the mayor's conference room. Anyone in addition to that, council?
Yeah. Anybody else you want?
In addition to the personnel director and the assessor?
I didn't think
And an air dog or anything else you want?
No.
Okay.
Yes, no. My name was not called.